And we are back. Welcome. I still need to save this game, so yeah, you will still hear some in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, like lots of stuff I read on the side when I have really nothing to do. They fuck up pronouns for every character and switching them multiple times per chapter sometimes.
How yeah.
Oh yeah, those. That's the thing. So something I've noticed is machine translations can't recognize multiple instances of pronouns. Speaking of pronouns, that's actually one of the ways that you can tell whether someone used ChatGPT on an essay. AI will absolutely refuse to use any pronouns. Not pronouns, proper nouns. They refuse to use proper nouns when talking. But shit, I'm forgetting which one. They're very consistently awkward in their use of proper nouns and pronouns. And once you can recognize that difference, you can look at something and just be like, oh yeah, this is machine translated, or this is
generated.
Yeah.
Generated, yeah.
Yeah, for me, like lots of stuff I'm reading, every character is male now. Like everyone can see him pronouns, except for some of the most male-looking characters. They get she, her. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's because it recognizes the one instance of like it's an inconsistent recognition of the pronouns because it starts at 1 on, like, say, the correct one for the subject of the sentence, but then once it moves on to the object of the sentence, so like what the sentence is the individual that the sentence is addressing or modifying, when it gets to that, it gets confused with machine translations. I've seen this a little bit because I've used machine translators myself a little bit. Recently, just to kind of like understand what they're doing, and yeah, it's very much an instance of there being no system for properly basically the system that rearranges the grammar to be correct is incompatible with proper distinguishment of like it understands the words, not the sentence, because it does.
Yeah.
And I think it becomes impossible with this current system. It becomes impossible for it to recognize anything beyond the words.
Yeah.
Now it does have some phrases pre-programmed in and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they also have like probability tables of things that might fit depending on like to make it more human-like in lots of those programs. I don't know if the machine translation specifically has those too, but
it depends on which scanlation group it is, because some scanlation groups have better software that they use for the translations. And not only that, but some of them also have what's the position called? I forget what it's called, but they have like their proofreaders and editors that make sure that things work, and they actually are still. It's mostly like the older groups that have been around for a while. Because they still understand the importance of proofreading and like the craft of their work, whereas people will read it and they're either ESL and don't really quite perceive the difference, even if they even are ESL, because there's a surprising number of scanlation groups that actually don't know English and they still translate to English.
That's bad.
Yeah. It's kind of sad because I just remember that people stopped most of their translations from Ancient Magus Bride because they started officially using machine translation, basically. So it's like
I don't mind if someone uses machine translation as long as they are also including in that saying, "Oh, yeah, this is machine translated, but it's also heavily edited."
Yeah, but they're not doing that.
It's yeah.
That's
Unfortunately,
the sad
yeah.
part. It's
Yeah,
just it's just
they-
cutting corners.
the only reason
Okay,
they're using that stuff is sadly to cut costs.
Okay. By the way, I have enough super credits to get another war wand, and I could get the laser one because I
know.
have also enough points to just buy shit instantly from there. Should I do that?
Sure. I'm already maxed out
Why
on
not?
medals because I've just been kind of like
What?
playing on my own a little bit. Go for it.
Okay. Oh yeah. Did you hear that? Sony wants to make a new Starship Troopers movie based on the books.
Huh.
Made by Neil Blomkamp. It's like so much about this is just weird because like the thing is the original movie is loved because it ignored the book. And here's the thing. I could totally see that, based more on the movie, based more on the book is, doing things like being about the whole having the power armor and stuff in there, like, that stuff. It's just the weirdest fucking decision for two reasons. First of all, Neil Blomkamp? Really? That guy? Okay, listen, I'm not like saying, the guy is... Okay, I think we've all seen District 9, right? I'm literally asking a question here. We all saw District 9, right?
Nope.
What?
You still haven't invited us.
I will invite you all. I just need to...
Shopping is more important to Nya than inviting the people that she knows to the game.
But we're content.
Oh, by the way, in case y'all didn't see, Meridia's gotten worse.
Yeah, they got another one.
I'm half convinced that the recent mission order was bugged with counting the kills, because I definitely feel like the number of kills that we were making, I feel like it was that it should have been enough, but there was recently a couple bugs in regards to kill counting in the game.
I mean,
And when they fixed it, I think that may have messed some things up.
yes and no. You have to also kind of keep in mind, like from how they handled the game so far, it's pretty certain that they already have an outcome in mind.
Yeah.
There is no reason to let the story deviate if you can just nudge some numbers, because we can't technically calculate how many bugs were killed, since that's not an open statistic. They can just change whatever they want.
That's the thing.
And we had it already that they were on Super Earth and nothing came of it, because they obviously hadn't content prepared for it, because that's not supposed to happen.
So they did have. One thing is, if the thing had succeeded, like the mission order had succeeded, they could just go with the excuse of that the plan failed.
Yeah, they could have.
It was the probably not the ideal solution. The ideal solution was to go after the to do the Illuminate option instead of the bots option. But the community tried to do both too much, and they tried to do both of the options too much, and nearly failed a couple times, and it's just continued to bite us in the ass.
The thing you have to keep in mind that the numbers we've seen on kills is not confirmable.
Yes. It's not, but they are... So the thing that they did confirm was that... so people did test out in the end screen that kills were not being recorded correctly.
Yes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying in general...
Kills were multiplied. Yeah.
I'm saying in general, we don't know how many kills actually are anyway, bugged or not, because that's just how those kind of games mostly are, unless you have a really talented developer.
Let's just be real here. I think they definitely did some stuff like how's it called? They definitely fudged the rolls on a few things that are quote unquote irrelevant. That's what I would probably say. That they're like, oh hey,
what do you mean?
Okay, here's the thing. For example,
you haven't invited Zep yet, I think.
I did invite Zep.
I haven't seen an invite.
You got an invite. Okay, it's another one. Okay, so the thing I would say what is happening right now is the fact that they are very much, in my opinion, looking at some things like, for example, okay, for example, the black hole is moving based on dark energy accumulation, and the Illuminati have been just pummeled consistently. So it's moving slowly. But what I would say is probably they were like tweaking the numbers a bit behind the back. So, the whole, because they're very, the main orders will probably be fulfilled. But they do want to...
the game.
But they probably want to have some, some tension, some drama. So they tweak things a little bit now, like... so like it killed like 2 planets, aside from the fact that I feel there will be a new type of planet coming, and it's gonna be asteroid fields, probably in the destructed systems. So they can't just sit down and say
yes,
that they just were like, okay, let's just let it, let's just tweak the numbers a bit, that a bit gets destroyed, so there is some sort of, tension, and not that, the players will feel like, oh, we're just dominating everything.
Alright, I'm back online.
Okay, then, invite.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so
I do think they have a job to make sure that the story continues.
It's just more like
they're developing it, because there's like, it's not like they can just drop what they've been developing and then move on. They have to have narrative reasons for why
that's not what I mean.
Progressing this way.
That's not what I mean. I literally just want. I literally just pointing to the fact that they probably are just fudging some things that it feels like there's something happening, because I'd say they still haven't gotten a grasp on how popular the game is, because people are like, since the beginning, people are just dominating, except for the time where everyone was jumping into Malevolent Creek and lost because people were ass. That's...
I wouldn't say that. I've been I don't know how much you've been paying attention to the community, but there have been a lot of times where it's been a struggle where we haven't dominated. There has been a number of failed mission orders that were winnable.
The only ones I recommend were times when half the community actively rebelled.
Yeah. By the way, which one do we want to do?
The hour of our next victory.
I'm fine with either.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Generally, the idea is to go to the one that has less so if it has low progress on the event and there's a significant number of Helldivers on the planet, then you generally want to help out with that. So that one has a success. Choke points are also important. Enemy invasion level is important, as well as how long the thing has. The is generally pretty decent at like providing that information. So let's take a look.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it looks like right now that the main defense missions are doing well. We could,
so let's see, where is it? What Regnus is not part of the orders. Because we need to hold Akinar, Secundus, Ursica, 11, Fenrir 3, and Heath at the end. Let's see. It's looking like the one most in control. Like, let's see. The one having problems is probably. What is it? Ursica? Where's that? I'm scrolling through the app right now. Ursica is not under threat, I guess? Yeah, it's not on here. It looks like the one struggling the most is probably... Probably Akinar Secundus.
You want, I guess, yeah. Let's kill some bugs.
Which difficulty?
This is the suicide mission. I don't really think we want to
Yeah, that's fair.
overdo it today. We did Helldivers last time.
Yep.
That was not
By the
fun.
way, I did some I did a couple hell dives in solo queue. Well, not on my own, but like in SOS beacons. And I ran into this one group where one of the guys was basically running a full support build. So he was ammo backpack, really good with the stim gun, and the game was basically like we were trashing them, even with like suboptimal builds.
Okay.
On 10. This was on bots, so it's things about being like we're having individuals that are able to distract and be healthy doing so, and also able to replenish supplies and ammo.
Yeah.
While
both would make sense.
in order to take down the drop ships before they land.
By the way, this is a defense mission, so turrets.
It's an eradication mission, not defense.
Yeah, eradication, defense, it's kind of the same.
It's a little
It's kind of the same. Okay, let's get a mortar in. Gatling, I think, was better.
Here, maybe.
I guess I take the laser guard dog.
Actually kind of forget what my primary weapon was for fighting the bugs. I think it was a shotgun.
I will use the shotgun as well, yeah. Do I want to have the grenade pistol? I'm not closing bug holes this time, so probably using the revolver is not the worst idea. So yeah. I think I'm going with this.
Revolver is good punch. It's useful for taking down the shield boys.
Yeah, that's
Because you
why.
can aim for the weaker points.
That's my idea. Do we want to stagger our turrets? That you put yours down first, and then I put mine down?
Sure.
Okay. Then let's do this. Oh, it's getting cold in here. Did you open the window?
Yeah, a long time ago. Because it's way too warm for me. Probably because I'm still having a fever or something.
Maybe we shouldn't hell dive then.
Nah.
Oh, it's quite lagging on my end. What is going on? I closed every other game, so...
It's so sad that the Africa run isn't doing that well right now.
It's just... Yeah, I kind of expected it to be a problem with the war system again, because it's just broken.
Maybe I should have taken Egypt.
Maybe. Are you putting your turrets down first, or should I?
You.
What?
You.
Okay, because I thought you
No,
wanted...
you don't. You're not paying attention most of the time. So, Titan. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
do your laser?
I thought you would be doing it first, but okay.
Nope, you're doing it first. Well, it's...
Yeah, the mortar's down, anyway. Go.
Then I'm doing my sentries here. Yeah? That many coming.
What happened? What?
Zep did some hell bomb.
Ah.
Ah, there's another big one.
Oh yeah, there's another Titan. It's dead.
Fire is nice.
True.
I was mostly... It wasn't an effective hell bomb explosion, partly because I was trying to figure out what button set it off. And it's 5.
Huh.
I don't think your orbital napalm barrage is really killing it.
It's killing other stuff.
Reloading.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Mag's empty.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Poison to the enemy.
Sending down sentry.
Throwing down a sentry.
There's a sentry in the middle again.
Actually, 2.
Oh, yeah. One is dead. Charger. My laser is down and sit down for 1 minute.
Yeah, I have one. Okay.
Reinforcing.
Oh, laser killed me.
Yeah. Weird angle though.
It was probably going for the bomber.
Yeah, but like I've been on the ground and the laser was high above me, so I was like, what happened here?
I mean, elevation doesn't really matter.
It was just like it wasn't even touching me, so just weird actions there.
Bug tunnel breach.
Yep. The moment they gave you a big bomb to carry, you were very happy.
Yes. Honestly, this is the first time I've had the opportunity to bring it. Just because it's been like the other missions that I've been doing, it just hasn't made sense.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Orbital incoming.
And this one is just about sending a message. Oh, right.
I will say, when running on the SOS calls for 10, I ran into some people who were really skilled at the whole call in a 500k at the end. Although some people would call in the cluster bombs at the end, and they'd perfectly time it so that it's like a spectacular view when leaving.
Yeah, that's probably the side effect of playing a lot for longer periods of time. Like, I could probably just look up or calculate the timing, but I don't want to. I'm not playing this game often enough for that to happen naturally.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I finished the main story in Amazing Cultivation Simulator.
Oh yeah, right. You did that like a few days ago, during the night. The long ass trip to getting everything, to getting the story done in Amazing Cultivation Simulator was finally over. After it just took beating a sect leader to death, and then while they were dying, like, spit out your last information, asshole. Okay, evacuate civilians trapped deep within the terminal swarm. Yeah, I guess.
Hellpods prime. Engaging orbital thrusters.
Oh, is this a defensive evacuation
No.
mission?
This is an evacuation where you need to get the data and then, civilians.
I saw an interesting suggestion. That people were saying that they should have, like when a planet's destruction is imminent, they should have deployments where Helldivers are doing like the defense evacuation missions, but it's literally just like you only fight against like the small swarm enemies. And it's not meant for like to be like a hectic swarm thing. It's more of like a narrative thing. Where your mission is literally just get as many things and people off the planet as possible.
That's a neat idea. Let's see. Here I do want a grenade pistol though. I can close bug holes and do I want it? I think I want different armor. Yeah.
Can I to plan what we want to do next week? Since
Oh right, we need to plan around next week. Zep
isn't there?
isn't
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Room might be there.
Yeah, but we should plan around him not being there. That's what he said.
I mean, no, I don't know if Marvel Rivals probably don't not.
No.
That is now just.
I mean, Lena offered to teach you Mashinsky, or how that's called.
Yeah, we could do that. Doable. We'll see. If I don't just want to, do some trains on my own in a train game I already know. Haven't done locomotion in a while, is what I'm saying. Yo!
Oops.
Requesting advanced weaponry.
We know.
Requesting air support.
But that's the only button I can do to interact with the game right now. Has to be.
Say hello to democracy! Reloading.
Anyway, time to go and establish communications uplink. While defeating the bug nest here.
Coming.
Bug outpost spotted. Prepare to exterminate. Have a taste of democracy! Let's reload.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put some fire behind us.
Tactical asset near your position.
LiDAR station.
Engaging terminal.
Sub-objective in your vicinity.
Yep. I'm gonna go take care of that spore spewer.
Do that. Oh yeah, Spore Spear would be very nice to be taken care of.
I'm on it. Dropping baggage.
Got 20 kills with that too.
I'm on it. Package fired.
So in addition to the super credits, I am looking for rare samples. So
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing everything I find.
Reloading. Got a sample.
Oh, Bile Titan. Whoops.
Sub-objective in your vicinity.
2 of them.
You know what? I'm doing an orbital laser. I already said I do it.
It's probably too late. So, My uplink is established.
Yeah, I'm doing the one here.
Requesting objective equipment. Sample collected.
There's another one. Another Bile Titan.
Yeah, I said there were two.
Didn't.
Package acquired. Dropping package.
I dove into a wall.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought it was far enough behind the rock that it wouldn't kill me, but
I got the terminal.
Boom! Headshot. Yeah, I just headshotted the thing with the quasar cannon.
Package acquired. Dropping package. Engaging terminal.
ooh, that was good aim that I had for the thing
Mission is progressing.
with the grenade pistol.
Okay.
Still have lots of fun with Victoria. It's just sad that you can't really count on the AI as soon as it's your friend.
Yeah. Like, hey.
Yeah, I have my frustrations, and hopefully the next patch works well, but also, when will that next patch be?
Yeah, it's like they say it's
Especially
gonna fix
since
it.
the problem seems more to be that that in multiplayer it just is how it's supposed to work.
Oh, come on.
And
Nah,
it's-
just lead it on. I'll get the charger. Bring it to me. Turn right.
Yeah.
I got it.
I also got it.
Yep.
We should go and help Argonia because... Oh, there's a cockroach.
I think that's the fake one.
Oh,
Did you pass it?
yeah.
Pretty sure.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Orbital inbound.
It is the fake one. Oh, I did see the fake one and the real one stuck right next to each other before,
Huh.
like a couple days ago. It was very funny.
Happens, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
it
currently...
happens sometimes.
Well, it kind of has to unless they make a specific rule that they can't spawn that close to each other.
Rare sample acquired.
And why should they? It's fine.
Because the thing is, if they make a rule like that, the thing that would happen is people would be able to actually... Oh, there's an entrenchment tool. This is the digging site.
Oh yeah, the entrenchment tool is for digging up samples.
Yeah, it's like, come on. You know what? This is a thing that seems nice on paper, but like in reality, kills the flow on higher difficulties. But who would stop in doing that?
I do. If you play it right, you do get...
Who in their right
opportunity-
mind?
You get ample opportunities to do so.
Okay, let's actually get some.
Like, I played some on 10, and I had a number of moments that I could do it.
Reloading. Package acquired.
The point was not that you have moments, but more like it kills the gameplay flow.
It's
Kinda
it's
by
more
definition.
gimmick than everything.
At least when we define the gameplay flow as the main thing you do, then then it,
What? There's just a biotype that spawned behind me, and apparently you killed me, Zep.
Yeah, I try.
somehow.
Yeah. Where's the ammunition I help?
I was just doing it because you all took so long. Okay.
I mean,
One more and then we're done.
yeah, I'm looking for the last one.
It's possible that we blew up the last one that we needed.
Sending in an eagle.
Found one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now you definitely killed me with your fire.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Ready to live.
Mission at 30 minutes remaining.
We need to get more used to using the sickles,
Reloading.
well, timing the sickles reloads. Or pauses.
Oh yeah, the Bile Titan is over there.
Enemy elite. South. 50 meters.
Yeah, I'd assume it's nearby your corpse.
Should I'm throwing an orbital then.
Dropping a pin. West. 300 meters.
Oh, you know what? No.
Rare sample acquired.
Nope, there it is. Kinda like fucking off on its own.
Reloading.
Bile Titan dead.
Nice.
Whatever that charger was. Okay. Yeah. You can actually activate the console.
Did it already? Oh no.
No, you didn't.
I did. Just want more activation steps.
Yeah, that's why you stay with the console.
No. Well then.
Reloading. Requesting air.
Eagle 1 leaving combat zone to resupply.
Have a taste of democracy. That's empty. Bug tunnel breach. Reloading.
Destroyed.
Oh god, nope. No. Come on. Okay, now I'm just.
Calling in reinforcements.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
I am currently searching for the
Yeah,
super
but
credit.
like we
No,
still
not
need some
super
help here actually. Okay, anyway,
well, I'll be over in a second.
Orbital inbound.
Firing orbital laser.
That's called democracy.
okay, I think we have it under control now though.
Loading.
Okay.
Yep. Nope, we don't have it under control, I guess.
Why not?
On my way.
Nah, I need to.
Do you need another orbital laser? I can throw one.
I think I. Okay, wait. I have it under control again.
Everything is fine. Everything's not fine. Everything is fine. Everything's not fine.
We are so back. It's fucking over. It's just like, okay, I can't manage. You have the last ones?
Well, if I can send one again.
I can send one on my end. Let's do this.
Just set them on both.
Yeah, we do. And then I'm going to look at the other, the two ones we haven't collected on up north.
I took a look at. I didn't notice the. I looked at them from afar. I didn't notice the the rock, but you can take another look and verify.
Yeah,
Since we're
you
close
can.
anyway.
The rest can look over to the south, and then we know where everything is. So
You don't see me, Bile Titan. Nope, he sees me.
Sending in an eagle.
Of course.
He saw you. Yeah.
I got killed because I got knocked over and was stuck ragdolling.
oh,
And then my toxic gas that I was about to throw at the Bile Titan killed me.
Super credits.
oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay, but honestly, super credits. It's probably easier to just directly farm for.
Do you want to reinforce that?
I
Would be
can.
nice.
Calling in reinforcements.
I thought you would.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Okay, so let's look at the other ones.
Well, my stuff's not on cooldown, so it's probably fine.
Requesting air support.
Extraction.
The thing I like about the cooldown for the portable held bomb is, like, by the time you use it, as long as you're, like, replenishing it, by the time you use it, you've already got it off cooldown.
There's just so
The
many
cooldown's not that-
fucking.
Yes?
There's so many enemies.
Not only enemies, it's just like, you know, I just were like, oh, here's some enemies, and then it's like, oh, hi, Bidle Titan. Nice to see
Who would've
you
thought
again.
Swarm faction would swarm.
It's just, it's like, you know, you go around the corner, Bile Titan. Another corner, Bile Titan. You track the other corner, that's right, Bile Titan.
Say hello to democracy.
Gotta love ourselves some Bile Titans.
Wow, this is
The-
like
the-
Battlefield 3.
What?
This.
You know, they don't have digging in that one.
Just slight terrain deformation. That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, okay, fair. Even though, actually, Bad Company 2 had better, had harder
I know,
terrain
that's why I'm
deformation.
specifically referencing that one.
Yeah. That's probably one of the strangest things about the series that, yeah, some of the maps are, you know, legendary and good and, like, really good, but also, people really forget that, you know, the maps in Bad Company 2 kind of just stop working if you don't play them in a rush.
As long as my backpack doesn't roll too far away, I get revenge. I think it rolled too far away.
Whoops.
Yeah, I had a high value patrol spawn right on top of me.
Reinforcing.
I think I've nearly everything.
Yeah, just 2 things over here. Did we get more super crits? No.
Oh, I found the actual cockroach.
Oh, nice.
Reloading.
Then let's get to extraction.
Ah, there's still like one thing left.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm coming.
Oh,
Right, there was a hell bomb here.
I dropped 9.
I heard that sound and I was instantly like, oopsies.
Yeah, I dropped like 9 rare samples.
I have it.
Yeah. I had, I think 4 or 6 rare samples. I forget how many.
Okay,
So I'm
more rare
trying to get
samples.
back to. I'm trying to get back to my samples container.
Yeah, then you have like 13.
Hi, bot. I have your samples.
Yes, and?
Why are you up here? We should go.
I look if there's. It's still like a diamond here, so I'm looking.
Okay, wait, I actually did collect that one, I think. Yeah, now it's gone. It was just another.
To extraction.
Mm-hmm.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
More rare samples.
Calling in extraction. Moving down supplies.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Oh. Yeah, Zep,
Yeah.
you're kind of wrong direction.
No, that's far away.
Yeah.
I literally said that I was going to get my samples.
I don't think they are that relevant.
Oh, well, enough. He can make it.
I was also closing a bug hole.
Yeah, that's kind of worthless, sadly. I wish, like, side objectives would actually bring you a benefit.
Acquired.
Like, a relevant benefit.
There's a Bile Titan coming.
I mean, they originally did when
Enemy elite.
you were still trying to level up initially, but
Yeah, but afterwards...
Are you throwing a laser?
I can do if you want.
Yeah.
You didn't call anything, so I won't do it. Because I'm used to you just throwing.
There's a charger. Wait, watch out.
It's like literally after it hit me.
What the fuck was that sound?
An explosion, probably?
No, it was just a donk. A very metal donk.
Well, then we need to wait for Zep, right?
Yeah.
I'm not too far away. I can
Still.
see
You're like half the map away, roughly.
Yeah, double time.
I don't know. How long does
It's
the
not
How long does the shuttle stay?
it stays until the end,
Okay.
as long as no one gets in.
Yeah, then no one gets in. It's fine then.
I've already covered half the distance I needed to go since the last check-in.
Yeah, come in.
Zep, move.
Zep, move in.
I'm here.
Yeah,
No,
move.
you stood on it.
Go.
Yeah, we're waiting for you. I know you were standing at the site, but you went moving to the shuttle. That's what we're waiting for. Because you're last.
Bybot. At least we have the super samples.
And we got all our rare samples as well.
Yeah, that's good progress.
I don't know if we got all the rare samples, but we got a lot.
We were short. I think there were two more on the map, from what I
Yeah.
remember, as limit.
Yeah, but that's probably the one
Why I
you have
went
to
and
dig up.
grabbed.
Yeah.
It probably is.
But then again,
Although
it's not, as far as I can tell, it's not the best to collect every sample. Because it kind of
I
slows
mean, if
down.
you run across every sample, then sure. But
Yeah. Like,
and I didn't end up costing us too much more time in the mission because of getting.
There were just like there were more and more swarms coming, and I had the super samples. So like, I don't think I should go for the super credits right now. I should wait for the laser pistol, so we can do a laser. Okay.
One shot.
Yeah, I should actually look at that.
Larvae gestates within the
Huh. 250 rare samples.
Oh, yeah, almost there. Anyway, so I have all the stratagems. I have. Well, I can see nearly all the stratagems except gas mines. Oh, yeah, you know what? Let's get gas mines. Now I have all of them.
I need either 6 more rare samples for the XXL weapons bay, or 56 for the last level on some of these things, which is ones I would rather have.
Yeah,
So, like
I finished the bridge.
Oh, I need a few more to get advanced crew training. or do enhanced combustion and fire damage from such an increased. That's actually not bad. Yeah. Probably going for that one. Oh yeah, by the way, did you, there's a new deep lore theory going on in Helldivers. So, we all know that, at the end of the first game, basically the players defeated all the other factions and, Super Earth won. And we thought this was, a sequel to that. The thing is just, a few people went outside of the skybox and saw that Super Earth, first of all, doesn't really have oceans anymore. The land masses are off. Which could just be, the typical dystopian future and stuff. We all know. But Super Earth has 3 moons. And there's only Mars in the system, which is like... Super Earth should have at least a few more planets on there. A few.
Maybe we ate them.
No, the thing is, if we can land on moons, Pluto and Uranus should be...
Pluto isn't a moon.
No, if we can land on moons in this game, Pluto should be a viable target in the system.
Pluto isn't a moon.
It's a dwarf planet, I know, but it's a moon-like planet, because there's no atmosphere and shit. So, because at the end of, one of the possible...
That's not how moons are defined nowadays.
You know what? Shut the fuck up, we're not talking about that. The thing is just, we can fight on similar planets to Pluto. So it's weird that we only have, it's literally weird that we only have Super Earth and, well, Mars in this supposed solar system. And again, Super Earth doesn't really look like Earth from space, but also it has 3 moons. So maybe Helldivers 2 is actually not the sequel to what players got at the end of Helldivers 1, because if they lose, they're like, we need to find a new Super Earth. So maybe this is all propaganda and Super Earth was already lost.
Maybe.
And this is why, the Illuminate...
Multitasking.
Yeah, getting this one and moral augmentation is, I think, the next.
So what you're saying is essentially that the first war ended in a loss, and that it's been covered up, and
it could be
that the I understand where that idea comes from. I disagree, though.
You know what? Here's the thing. I do think
my reasoning for why I think that here's an easy explanation. The reason why Super Earth is so massive, and the reason why there's the system looks different.
Yeah.
So there's a meta reason, and then there's an in-lore reason.
The meta reason is just
that devs were just not. They just didn't put in all the stuff for the system.
Yeah.
Because they didn't. They probably don't intend to make anything other than Mars and Super Earth relevant. The in-lore reason could literally be that they smashed some of the planets into Super Earth after the war ended at some point, whether it was the people of Super Earth or it was some end bit by the Illuminate or some other group, which would explain the increase in mass of Earth, and as well as changing the bodies of water and so on.
But wouldn't explain why there isn't a crater then.
Yeah, like that would definitely be different.
It could also just be that the planet harvested.
Why would the oceans be gone then?
We definitely need more oceans then. Anyway,
again,
it just
that kind of goes into a meta thing of like, if it's outside the skybox, the oceans probably just aren't loading in.
The meta reason isn't the story reason. Can't be.
I'm just saying that the meta reason is the reason why you're not seeing
it. Could very, we all fucking know that it might just be the devs just reusing shit, and that's just that. But it's still, fun to think about that. Super Earth has been lying all the time, because it's not like the fascist government has been lying all the time.
Yeah. It would fit.
Yeah. I mean, that's also, ironically, if you think about it, would make a lot more sense why the Terminates are how they are, you know? Because if they won, like, the Terminates didn't seem really controlled at the beginning, so...
Well, I don't care either way.
Launch initiated.
You are the best of the best. Live up to your name. Live up to freedom.
Sending down equipment package.
Why?
Charger.
Bunker down
And
here.
the thing blinds it in the process.
Yeah, but we're also
Yeah.
dying at the bunker.
I didn't notice the bunker below me.
Yeah, how could you? Like, it was literally out of sight.
Super credits, medal, and requisition clips. How many super credits were that? Just 10, okay.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Main objective near your position. Objective critical stratagem available.
Requesting air support.
Oh, there's a bile height. I'm covering it.
Okay.
Requesting orbital.
Firing orbital laser.
I just got, like, launched midair by that thing. The, bomber, that is.
Reminds me a bit of old school Monster Hunter.
The launching.
Yeah, the death combos.
Yeah. They were always... I would just generally say they were a lot more... Oh, there's another one.
I got it. Dive and run.
Nope.
Yeah.
Calling in reinforcements.
Because I just saw you armed it, but I don't know where you ran afterwards.
Bug outpost spotted.
I dropped it right after I'd armed it.
Well, then it has a lot more range than a normal Hellbomb.
Well, you kind of ran in a similar
Oh,
direction
God,
to
not-
where I was. It wasn't like the same direction, but you was adjacent to me.
Yeah, because that's the direction we all needed to move in.
Well, I couldn't see anything other than the Titan, so...
You shouldn't have Titan vision.
Yeah, no, I don't have my stuff.
Well, no, I didn't have Titan vision. I just literally could not see anything else. Because there was so much going on my screen.
I know that's probably not what you mean, but you technically said right now that you could see a lot of other stuff.
I said I couldn't.
I'm saying that technically, with saying because there was so much going on your screen, there were lots of other things you could have seen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Not what you're meaning. It's just like, yeah.
The saying was more so about like the noise of images on my screen.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. My dog was having a nightmare from the sounds of it.
Aww.
Yeah. I see shrieker nests.
Same.
I'm gonna go and hellbomb them.
Oh, there are 2 shrieker nests.
Yeah,
Two
there's
pink.
that one. If you want, I can get that. Are you getting that one, Agonia?
Sure, I can try.
Because I'll get the one. I'll get that one.
Yeah, sure.
You get the one that you're close to.
I'm coming to Agonia. I'm going far away from that hell bump.
I mean, you're gonna have to hellbomb it. Probably.
Yes, but Agonia is more responsible in hell bombing. You know?
I'm throwing less of them.
Hellbomb. The
Oh yeah. The thing about the whole Starship Troopers reboot thing is like, you know what's the weirdest part about it? Like, aside from what is going on right now, I can't see shit. I mean, aside from the fact that this could go like horribly wrong because like the original book is just, you know, kind of military fascist propaganda.
Album arms.
But then again, Neil Blomkamp is like the kind of director that apparently just makes leftist movies by accident.
Really?
What?
Just
Yeah,
one
didn't-
viewer. I put them directly between each other. Come on.
yeah, I saw with that one it was gonna be kind of annoying to take care of,
Yeah.
just because of the way that the bomb explodes and the distance between the two of them. Yeah, I like I expected. I was only able to kill one of the nests.
Oh. Oh.
2 minutes.
My hell bomb is stuck up in the shrieker nest.
Yep, you gotta be careful about those.
Come on now.
Also, Nya, you
No.
said you were here. You never came.
Yeah, and I was pushed off your
Just run past them.
Anyway,
Stop looking around. Reinforce me to the shrieker nest and move.
I will. You can maybe even land on the shrieker nest.
Don't think it will work. Shoot something.
It doesn't let you normally.
Also reinforce me finally. You're nearly dead.
No,
Reinforce.
I can't.
You can. You still,
No, I'm dead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because you're still playing with the bullpup.
Yeah, and now she can reinforce you.
Yeah,
What did I do? What I'm doing?
you're still playing with the bullpup. Still don't get
It's
how
not a
people-
bullpup. You have no idea what the gun is, so stop.
It behaves
No,
like that.
it's not.
I'm talking about video game bullpups. You know?
I can't land on it.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Reloading.
I will never talk about real guns because real guns are boring.
It's the pump action, and the pump action is actually really, really strong.
You say that, but you're the one dying from nothing. The shuriken
okay,
just
now,
died on its own.
okay, now I was just literally comboed.
Yeah. What's the problem? Don't get
Yeah.
hit.
I don't know even what hit me. I feel like the physics are fucky right now.
But that's Helldivers too.
No, it's
The
more
physics
like, you
are
know,
fucky.
as if there are explosions that don't happen.
Nah.
Don't
It's
say
just,
meh.
It's just Helldivers 2 being Helldivers 2 at that point.
Well, there's also
Anyway.
a lot of spore things, like the little spore.
I know,
mound.
but like, they also usually don't. They also didn't explode a lot of times the last time I played. But
They explode when you near them.
They also explode whenever something with explosive legs are near. Well, piercing legs are near them, which are most bugs.
yeah. Anyway, let's get this one finished, though. Oh yeah, what I want to say is, it's just weird that they decided on this guy, even though I feel like, you know what the sad part about this is? I feel like this is another project Blowcamp pitched actually to someone, and it's going on the, you know, shit he will never finish pile. Because he kind of has a history with that. Oh, what? You know what? I'm trying to talk about stuff here. No one
Yeah,
engages.
sorry, I'm not really interested in movies.
You should.
No.
I have. Oh, come on.
At the very least, I was distracting a lot of big hordes, keeping them away from you.
Didn't they patch that ages ago?
They
That
did.
No.
that like
It's it's cooldowns on spawnings and stuff like that.
yeah, but you can't really push stuff away from others anymore, like you could in the beginning.
What do you mean by push stuff away?
There will still be patrols spawn around every player group, basically.
Oh yeah, so that depends on how far away the groups are, but also you can intercept patrols
The point is you
depending on
cannot
where they spawn.
you cannot really relieve pressure. That's what my point.
Well, so the way that you relieve pressure is by triggering bug breaches or bot drops, because there is a cooldown on that limits how many drops can happen, or like reinforcements can happen per minute.
Yeah, but that's still not really relieving. That's just exhausting everything the game can throw at you.
Package acquired.
Well, so it keeps the extra spawns that a patrol is designed to summon away from the other players. That's how that works.
Yes. It's still not directly what is normally meant by relieving pressure.
Yeah.
It relieves potential pressure that would be
No, it
caused
doesn't
by
anymore.
reinforcements.
They literally
No,
changed
no,
that.
Zep is right with what he's saying. That's not the point. My
I
point.
wasn't wording what I was saying exactly, and Stu's taking issue with it.
No, that's not the point. I'm saying that that's for me is not relieving pressure directly, because you're basically saying because the game still spawns patrol around every group, it's not directly relieving pressure. It's basically pulling everything so far until the game can't spawn anymore, which is not directly relieving pressure, but more a shortcoming of the game in the first place. Which is natural because technical issues, you know, can't have endless spawns. I don't know if I can articulate that well.
Reloading. Helldiver reporting to the front.
At least for me, there's a difference with what you did before, where you could actually like lead bugs away and have the attention on you, versus now you technically end up doing the same thing, but it's not really diverting attention. It's more like filling the spawn cap.
What are you doing over there, Zep?
I was doing a site and also getting some of my samples back.
Sending in an eagle.
I'm also on the periphery of you guys, taking out some of the mortar bugs. Like the one that just fired at you.
Yeah, but the mortar bugs are somewhere else. Just...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I am somewhere else, and that somewhere else is where the mortar bugs are.
No, you are not here where the mortar bugs
aiming
are.
at you.
Yes,
I
yes.
am. I am literally fighting them right now.
You are
cannot
fighting
see that
someone-
I'm doing that. You can't say that I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
I mean, she can't say it, but she would be wrong.
I was literally where the
Yeah.
mortar bugs are, so...
No, you are at different mortar bugs. You know, there's not just one group of mortar bugs, okay? I personally don't mind the mortar bugs because they don't hit anyway, but
They've hit a couple times. They're a bit annoying.
haven't hit me yet, I think. But then again,
mean,
emphasis
yeah.
on yet.
Yeah.
Maybe they will.
Well, hopefully they won't, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
There we go.
I'm also intercepting a patrol that is approaching.
Package acquired.
Okay.
Well, onto the extraction.
Dropping package. Package acquired.
Ah, you're kidding me.
I think I'm getting supplies down at the artillery first.
Yeah.
I've also been blinding a lot of the mortar bugs so they don't aim well. With the poison grenade.
There's smoke, but like I don't know if you have more non-smoke. Let's see, is there?
I
no-
don't see them, and I don't care to spend too much
Yeah,
time looking for
let's
them.
do the. Let's just put in the smoke ones.
Smoke can be useful.
Yeah. There's another explosive one. There we go.
Dropping package.
Ah, yeah. Anyway, there was literally another explosive one.
Well, it's a good thing you looked for it.
Yeah, but there was another smoke now in before that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Heavy, northwest, 50 meters.
That's 2 Bile Titans. I think I got one of them. I think I only got the 3rd.
Helldivers never die.
One is heading kind of towards you, but it's still far away, so.
I'm going to the side mission.
Okay. Should I call in?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Will do.
I'll see if I can intercept the Bile Titans. At least the one that was chasing me. I think I may have lost it, actually.
Yeah, they're surprisingly slow, even though they're actually pretty fast. Just sometimes they're
I
like,
think it depends on when they see you and
Yeah.
what's in the way.
yeah, like trees they just walk, but sometimes.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Calling in a hell bomb.
T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Hell bomb armed. Clear the area.
Okay.
Yeah, you killed me.
What? No.
I got 72 bug kills from that hell bomb. I'm happy.
Nice. Yeah, portable hell bombs can be very useful, I think.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
They're great as like a measure of last resort for a what do you call it? For a bad luck for like a swarm.
Sending in an eagle.
Yeah.
Delivering payload. Eagle 1 returning to destroyer for resupply. ETA T-minus
Oh hey, Rupi, how are you doing? Welcome to the Helldiving. Late night Helldiving. Oh god, it is late night Helldiving.
And for some reason, the artillery bugs haven't hit me yet.
They somehow just get my ass, which is weird.
Maybe
They hate me.
part is
I
of
mean, you just barely dodged a hit before.
I know, but they still.
Still, it's the hit. There's a it's a charger.
I see the impaler.
I mean, it's Helldivers. It's fun, generally. Meanwhile, we're still kind of needing to find something for Wednesday. Now I realize. Zep, you coming?
Yep. Wow, I dodged that.
Requesting orbital.
Because we're not gonna do a lot more Monster Hunter Wilds. We're kind of done with that. It's sadly just not a long game.
Like helping other people and stuff is still fun, I guess.
What?
Helping other people.
Oh yeah. If you play Monster Hunter Wilds and you want a squad, look on the Discord, or if you're interested, I can send you the part. You can sign up. We have a squad, so if you want to play with friends and such. But yeah, we will mostly help because I just need to get to Hunter rank 100 now, and that's that then.
You need to.
I
What
need
hunter
to.
rank are you at?
I'm. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm at. I think I'm 80, almost 80, 79 or so.
I think you're 80, yeah.
It's
I've
like
seen a couple people that are already at 91.
It's
and that they're
very
already
fast.
Almost there.
It's very fast. Like
Yeah, I didn't-
Agonia is
Yeah.
over 100 already. So
And I didn't play much.
it's like I think it's just like
I was farming pollen
yeah, that's
because
I'm still
Oh.
at hunter rank 4, aiming for hunter rank 1. I gotta be number 1.
Yeah, sorry, Hunter rank only goes up. Oh, you were only at Gore. Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of sad that Gore is the best fight in this game, in my opinion.
Kinda.
I mean, but it's besides Jindahat. I think, hands down, Jindahat is my favorite new monster, and it underlines my... Okay, here's the thing. So, I have a thing with Monster Hunter for a while now, because, like, we are now in a time where we have pretty powerful devices, okay? And the thing is, in my humble opinion, Wilds shouldn't have aimed for that high of graphics and instead gone for bigger areas. Because right now I feel like some of the areas that's just is literally the only fight that made me lose. Oh wow.
We haven't lost the fight yet.
We haven't lost the fight, yeah. I got carted 5 times. The whole game, 5 times. And just a few where... One was literally just a stupidity and I was just over... just not awake, but... yeah, I mean, if you want to... If you want help, and yeah, I can send you this... You know, I'm just gonna send you the squad. Who the hell is that? But yeah,
You know what I think Monster Hunter should do next? They need to, in their next game, go with the kind of graphical fidelity of monsters and creatures that we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. We need the realistic balls of monsters.
honestly,
I mean, they have cloacas, so
yeah. At least that's
not much balls to be seen there.
Yeah.
That's my number one problem with anthropomorphized Monster Hunter art. They all give them external stuff instead of cloacas, which they should have.
Yeah, that's always something we're like... We want biologically accurate monsters here.
Biologically accurate anthropomorphized monsters.
Yeah. It's more like, we can help you with the, late game, so some of the armor farms and shit. That's usually just a bit nicer to do with people. But yeah, it's just like, I kind of wanted to make, it's like, if they stayed on the, like, just a bit of touched up graphical level of Rise, because Rise was kind of it was a good looking game if they, didn't use the whole desaturation, which they still have in some areas in Wilds, which is like, why?
Yeah, some monsters turn like completely grayish in the sand, like not nuanced or anything. It's just really weird.
Because that's the weirdest part for me. Because like, I like big monsters. There are some of the best fights, in my opinion, are the ones in between the siege fights and normal monster size. That's like Akantor, Ukanlos, and Jindahat is right in there. Like, I do love me some big monsters. What I feel is just a bit stupid is the fact that, they could have gone for, like, actually big areas and have the big monsters roam in them as well, like, as just, big things. But Jindahat is, like, just an arena fight. It's like...
You could even do it like a threat event quest, like once a weekend one of them can show up, and then if enough players defeat them, they're repelled and stuff. That would be fun.
I genuinely thought that would happen because of 2 things. First of all, it had the aggro mechanic from how's it called? The aggro mechanic from
Safi'jiiva
and Behemoth. Yeah, so I was like, okay, Behemoth.
Not Behemoth.
Behemoth, yeah. I was like, oh, so this is the group fight one. And then I was like, okay, so it's in an arena. I'm like, okay. And also, I need to stress that, I mean, we've all been past that part in the story. I think, except Zep. Fuck. I don't think Zep was...
By the way, are we going to load up another mission?
I don't think so. It's like, sadly, a little bit late, and I'm actually feeling... It's like, energy drinks gets you far.
I haven't gone past the... to answer your question, I haven't gone past the part where I left off after the purple lizard fight.
Yeah, I don't think you're let dead. Okay, it's just like there's something in the story where I was like, oh, Jindahat's present is a problem. So I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the returning siege monster, right? It just makes sense that it's the returning siege monster from what it does, and you're like, that actually makes it's just there. It's just there, and like.
Also, just to be clear, monster names mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
I only operate in monster descriptions.
It's the heatsink Leviathan. So if you wondered why Jindahat looks like that, it's with the big metal stuff. It's a heatsink. It's a literal heatsink.
I don't think I've encountered one of them yet. So
you should have fought them. I think.
I fought Fire Chicken, Crocodile, White Spider.
What the fuck is the crocodile?
The fart monkey.
Ufduna?
It's the green guy from the beginning.
The Chadakari. That's a frog. That's not a crocodile. That's a froggy.
Whatever. Whatever. Sure. It looks longer to. When I saw it, it looked long enough to be crocodile than frog. But I guess that either way. I fought Sparky.
Mm-hmm.
I fought Waterworld.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Waterworld.
Some of these are working. Some of these nicknames are works in progress.
It's just.
And then Purple Monkey, and
it's more pink.
I don't really have names for these energy draining creatures just yet, because they're the monkey is just like they made a modification of it, so that just screws with my entire system, and so now I have to find workarounds and stuff.
But they made a wait. Do you think Chotacabra and Kongalala are the same? I mean, they're both.
No. I didn't. No. I'm talking the monkey from the ones that invaded the village.
That's
those things and the
monkeys never. Oh, the red ones.
The white one that you fought before the purple lizard. I think it's called the Rathlos, just because I've heard that name before.
There is a white monkey, but you aren't at the white monkey yet.
Yeah.
I fought one.
There's a pink monkey and a red monkey, and then there's a white monkey.
There's a red. Oh yeah, the red monkey. Yeah.
The red monkey is the fart monkey. That's not one of.
No, that's the pink monkey is the fart monkey. The red one is the blast monkey.
You mean the fire monkeys?
Yes.
They're not using
It's blast.
fire.
It's not fire. It's blast. I know blast is. It's just everything that goes boom.
Well, you need different resistances for it.
Yeah, like here's the thing.
True.
Here's the thing.
I know mechanics. Okay.
Yeah,
I
like
get the mechanics.
the elemental difference is, the fire ones are like ow, continuous damage, and the other one is. They're different.
Yeah, but I'm thinking in coatings, so my element in the elements of coatings. So
What is coatings?
Coatings. Even then you have
for the
blast.
bow.
Even then, there are no fire coatings and there are no blast coatings.
No, there's blast coatings.
There are no blast coatings?
Blast coatings were always a thing because because coatings are status effects, and blast is a status and not an
But
element.
I don't.
There's close combat. There's blast. There's fire. Or no, there's no fire. There's exhaust. There's paralyze, and there's poison, and then
Has left squadron.
Such
there's
that
power and pierce.
Yes.
honestly, Catcher Watcher.
I find it weird that they added blast as a file when the bow already is supposed to be the elemental thingy, even though it's not in this game.
Because blast is status thing. So yeah, but they did that in 3 already. So I
I just find it weird that blast
Honestly-
coatings exist.
honestly,
My guess is that they were probably trying to round out elemental coding, like the elemental side of coatings, because
You mean status?
because well, yeah. So no, so the paralyzed coating does do electrical damage. The
Right.
and the exhaust, if I remember correctly, does ice damage. It's very slight, but it's not like something that makes a big difference. But I've seen the effects apply when I was fighting certain monsters. So like when I was fighting the guy in the water monster, and I applied the paralyzed coatings, I could see the effect modifiers showing. Oh, this is electrical type damage.
That's just the effect of paralysis. If you're talking about the visual stuff.
The numbers on the damage were
That's what you mean.
electrical. Yes.
The number on the damage.
I think Catcher Watcher didn't come back because
The numbers on the attacks were electrical. I have to pass.
So they were like they were like a blue color, and there was also like a shield with a electrical, with like a lightning bolt on it,
that's a broken
which
shield.
I assume is probably the
That's broken.
Huh?
That's a broken shield. That's not an electrical shield. That's a broken shield.
No, it was a lightning bolt, not a crack in the shield.
Anyway, I think the reason Catcher Watcher didn't come back is just the fact that the thing I mentioned is just the series, because they went so much for, graphical improvements. A lot of the areas are very flat. Like, I mean, that's just one thing, It's not that they don't look bad or so, but like, if you actually traverse them or fight them, the areas are very much flat, like, to a degree, like first and second gen maps, or the third gen maps, because the fourth gen one, like, if you remember, in the ancient forest, you had like layered ones. You get like actually vines areas, like it could swing around on and stuff. So, that's just like, it would probably just take a lot more. But I mean, yeah, in terms of monster selection, definitely have some cues from 4, but like, I mean, it's actually kind of interesting. I would say the monster cues are definitely from 4, but like the whole seasons and stuff, that's just those again, but also just kind of lesser than those, and that's also like,
That's
even
kind
though-
of because of the story they were going for.
honestly, I think like, I think this is just one of the parts where they wanted to have it gameplay wise just change quickly and then made a story around that, which is not bad, because it's like, okay, you know what, it's like the story kind of flattens like basically a lot of the criticisms I would have anyway, which is like, it's neat, but like they can't pull that twice. So I'm like, it's. I hope the next game isn't like trying to be the same again, but not with explaining.
I will say, so the thing I was saying about Monster Hunter before, if that is in fact like something different from what I'm thinking it is saying, then I put that on as a flaw of Monster Hunter Wilds for displaying something that looks that tells me information that looks the way it did to me.
Okay, what?
So if it is in fact a cracked, if it is in fact a broken shield, then I'm going to put that on Monster Hunter for not doing that, because I've never seen that in any other monster.
Honestly, I do.
That I haven't gone for.
Honestly,
Ufduna has that, right?
yeah, Ufduna has that. That's literally just a mechanic on Ufduna, because the fins are out, now it's protected. I do hope that, because like, if the next, I do want the next title to have like they definitely need to keep that I mean, I hate the fact that people say like, this was always the case. No, it wasn't. If you have never played the original
memory
game
for games is weird.
No, it's more like, a lot of people that joined with World just made up their own story about how Monster Hunter was, and that's just like literally the basically Team A, Team B dynamic happened twice for different reasons. Like, Generations happened because, basically the Frontier team was slowly like, yeah, they wanted to phase them out because they wanted to end out Frontier, and then they were like, oh, we need anniversary title anyway. Can you make an anniversary title with, you know, the resources you already had? So they, you know, this is why they incorporated some ideas like the hunting styles from Frontier into, you know, a mainline title. And then afterwards they were like, okay, listen, we should make at least one title for the Switch. Can you make one of that? And that became Rise.
What that was Rise? That was the one that came out between World and Wilds?
Yes.
I can see why they made that decision for, we need an anniversary title, because a lot of other
Rise isn't an anniversary title. Rise isn't an anniversary title. Generations was it? Generations literally has remade areas from the second.
When was Generations?
Before World.
It was for World. It was the title literally for before World. But Rise happened because they were like, we need a title on the Switch. And generally I would say Rise is better than World in my opinion. Simply because you can actually play it from start to finish co-op. Just, you know, especially, you know, I think my biggest problem is just, since World, it stopped being Monster Hunter and became Monster Fighter, which is like, fine. I will keep saying, the absolute thing that still sells the series is the fact that the combat is that good. The core loop is still that good. But if you focus on fighting, then make the fighting really good. And
we played with basically a beginner to the series a while ago.
I would say if they are in fact iterating on the series and turning it into, as you say, Monster Fighter, to use your to explain it. If that is the direction that they are going into, and they're not going to change direction, I would say give them some iterations to refine the system, to refine the
they had that.
The idea.
We were talking about that the start of it since World.
Yeah, Generations and Rise generally had the better combat system, in my opinion. But
I'm just saying, we fought together with someone else relatively new to the series, and they were basically also complaining
Wilds is just easy.
That the monsters don't instill respect, since we're just going through them, wailing on them for 5 minutes, and they're dead.
Yeah. I mean, there's this thing. There's just one thing where I'm a little bit concerned, because here's the thing. I would say that if they made a new, B team title that was, way more like the older titles, as in, for example, actually a Generations 2, actually visually remaking, maybe even the first and second gen maps, and, maybe adding a few of those mechanics from the fourth gen maps, make them a bit more, vertical, because that's actually kind of interesting if you replay Generations or 4, and you go to some areas in the Ancient Steppe and such, they are vertical. There's just one area in the Ancient Steppe that's just multiple cliff sides that you just have to scale. It's really cool. It's just there's a lot of there's just an interesting feeling to that, or that the volcanoes
I will say, with regards to the thing of monsters not carrying respect, honestly, from all that I've played of World and Wilds, I just don't see that as a concept. Not in just in the games, and not in those games particularly. I just don't really see that as a thing in general in games.
I mean, it's more you have to respect the fight, as in you have to prepare some and be okay, I shouldn't overcommit, stuff like that. You should respect the monster to a degree. That's the thing. But here's the thing. As much as I would love to have an older style title, and maybe we will still get a guild hall, even though I really wish they would bring back the guild hall from Portable Third, but that's me. So there was this interview recently where the series director, who now gets a higher post at Capcom for some reason, said oh yeah, Wilds is so successful because...
It's not for some reason, it's because his dad...
That's one of the things, yeah. But also he's oh yeah, Wilds is totally selling that much because of the story, and just sit there being oh no.
I have heard no one really talking about the story.
First of all, what I see online, when people talk about the story, aside from a lot of the influencers were like, oh yeah, it's fine, they generally dislike that they're forced through the story. It's like, but like, yeah, people talk about the story because, oh wow, the game came out and you have to play the story. They're literally forcing it. You can't ignore it. It's just like
It's very
there's
prominent.
a reason why the whole what was it? The guild does not authorize this action.
yeah,
thing
they're mostly
overnight.
memeing about some of the inconsistencies. But like, I mean, the story is like, it has some moments, but also at the end you just notice how it falls apart because a certain character just starts having wild mood swings about how he feels about a certain monster. It's just like, yeah, you clearly see how those were like different storyline ideas, and then they were like, oops, we need to finish up the game.
It's typical character progression,
Yeah, but like just rushed.
Yeah, of course they had to rush it because
And also
The thing with the boy. So I'm speaking from my limited experience with it. It feels to me like they had more than one writer that was competing for a different type of story.
that could
And
very
they
well
were
be the
both
case.
they were both allowed to do whatever they wanted, which causes conflicting feeling moments for the characters. And when I say conflicting, I mean like as if their personality changed.
Yeah. I mean, it's also not that good that the story just has, some colonialism vibes. Just like, oh yeah, we're arriving here where the natives just don't know how to fight monsters, and you just sit there being like, oh, so you're telling me the people that
this is another thing. Circling back onto the thing I said about the boy. There are moments where it feels like, oh, these people have adapted to the ways. Their way of adapting is different from what the hunters do.
Yeah.
They have, like in the desert, they've used materials of a monster to ward off the monsters that are actually threatening them.
It's just the stone. It's just the stones on the ground. The stones on the ground make a similar noise. That's it. But
Yes, but they're using the sounds of a monster and light stuff to ward off monsters that they're actually afraid of. And yes, there is a inherent small flaw in there in that there are some things that override that fear, but also there is an inherent flaw in the hunters in that hunters are risking their lives, meaning they can die when they're hunting monsters theoretically. The player doesn't actually die; they get rescued.
That would be a different genre then.
Yes. But anyways, there's that aspect that I am definitely seeing in WoWs. And then, of course, I am seeing that little bit of colonialism where they have, like, especially with the conversations with the chiefs and the leadership, which feel like they had someone... So this is where I think my theory holds up, where they had someone who was writing main storyline stuff and then someone who was writing, like, adjacent stuff. So, like, little world-building lore bits. That world-building lore bits side, I think, was written by someone who had more respect to the tribes and the people who were living there.
It could
I think a lot of the mainline story stuff with the chiefs kind of leaned in a direction of, no, what you're doing is wrong, it's not good, and the hunter's way is the right way.
Oh yeah,
even though we're not going to force you to do what the hunters do because you're not allowed to, because you're not given authorization by the guild.
I mean,
which is a bit more colonialist than I think it can be taken very colonialist because you have these saviors coming in who use powers that people aren't allowed to use.
Can I say also a few things on that? Yeah. It's like, there's like, especially one village. I mean, by the way, in the first one they explain, oh, so this is how they ward off monsters. The second is like even bigger. Nope, the monster area is just right outside the gate. They never talk about any defense mechanism. It's just doesn't happen.
That peeved me off about the Forge village. It's like, what the fuck? Why is there nothing about how these people are surviving?
Especially since the monster we're talking about that they need to ward off from is a fucking monkey. We all know how hard monkeys are
hard monkeys are to keep out or in
anything.
Oh yeah, keeping in or out. It's like both is a problem. You can't control monkeys. But then like in the story, the monkeys show up and they're like, why are the monkeys showing up? And the nature's suddenly just changing. We're just like
The only explanation that I can maybe surmise is that the sleeping presence of the fire squid or whatever was making the monkeys instinctually avoid the forge. That is the only explanation that I could possibly think of, and yet they make zero mention of any of that possibility.
Yeah. And it's like, but also like,
Also,
there's just
At
this
most, you get autistic fixer guy, Werner,
Yeah.
I think is his name. You get him, who's like, you know what? This is probably not a good idea, but they've asked, and so I'm going to oblige.
Also, he
Yeah.
wants to.
and like there's also just other
He
things
likes to
like,
tinker.
Yeah.
oh hey, yeah,
Night.
see ya, night. But there's also a thing I want to
Because you
Yeah.
both are talking. Interesting thing with the Woodwoods, I think they're
Yeah.
called, and the general region. Okay, since we had the movie with the whole language barrier and stuff. This is a region that was cut off from the Hunter Society for 1,000 years, and you're telling me, even if they preserve the language, that the whole humans are still speaking the same language?
It is kind of wild that the Monster Hunter movie, which a lot of people try to slam, literally respects the idea of there is a language barrier there, and just very few people might even know the other languages. That it respects that, and then while they're just like, no, they're still speaking the same language.
Were
Nothing
they
deviated.
completely cut off, or was there still like minor bits
No,
of trade?
they
or
were cut off.
stuff?
They literally,
Completely cut off.
the
In
guild
that
thought.
case, then we're going to have to work on the kind of separation of language that, for example, I guess would occur between. I'm not too informed on Southern Hemisphere languages, but I would say probably the Indian languages and the Indonesian languages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be one thing.
Yeah.
But also then you had like, then you also have like, okay, also the fact that the Woodwoods just, oh yeah, no, we just, we technically can speak the language that everyone else around us speaks, we just...
They preserved it.
They preserved it, they just decided to...
They're the one that said they preserved it because the people around them still spoke it. So, what they technically are telling us, the Woodwoods have such a high authority as, like, the you have to pay us to get through and trade.
Yeah.
That they enforced a rigid language system which never changed, even though they can't speak it themselves.
And also,
if they kept having people or leaders like the like that one guy with the hat,
yeah.
I would say that the amount of aura that he commands, you know what? That's fine. That is like bow down to his charisma and his aura.
Yes, but
He is awesome, and of course you'd want to speak what he speaks.
But then you
yeah.
come to the problem that the humans around him speak the language better than he does.
First of all, yeah, it's like, I mean, from what I read, that they said the Woodwoods preserved the language because they spoke it before. They just kept it around because they
For
still wanted
trade.
to for trade. But they just decided they are going to speak their own language. So they now are just speaking the other language broken and constantly want to trade for shinies and purple fur. And you're like, listen.
But that's still, besides the colonialist undertones, unintended probably, you still have a region that was cut off from all contact for 1,000 years. There is
Over 1,000 years.
no,
The
1,000
millennia,
years
they
is
said.
1,000 years is confirmed.
Yeah, that's over. They said millennia. That's a lot more.
The problem is that the it's not just that like the languages would diverge per se, it's that they continued in the same direction. That's the problem, especially considering that environments are it's suggested that the environments of this new area I know it's not new, but it's new to the hunters.
Yeah.
And the environment is, because the environment is so different and dynamic, I would heavily expect, that there would be a larger divergence of language. I'd almost say that the Woodwoods language would probably be what the humans should be speaking, and the Woodwoods should probably be more in line with speaking proper, like how the hunters speak it.
Yeah.
As like their core language, assuming that we're continuing on with the whole subject of they preserve the language, and assuming, of course, that hunter society hasn't really changed much at all. And
Yeah, I
in
think-
that case, you're thinking of maybe just a slight difference of, like, say, Old English versus modern English, which is still pretty hard. It's still pretty damn different.
Yeah. I mean, that's one part. I mean, you still have
when
to...
were the Romans? How many years
That's
ago?
over 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, you also have to
But in
think that...
2,000 years, we have what? We have German with its dialects, and France with its French with its dialects,
and that is
Spanish.
And those were connected countries. They were connected. Let's just be clear.
I mean, part
here.
of the issue is also just, like, literally our definition of what we define as a language is political now, rather than actually linguistic.
I mean, even in the
That's
linguistic
a whole nother
context.
conversation.
Yeah, but like even in the linguistic sense, it wouldn't just
there
make a lot
should
of
be-
sense.
There should be, like, at least
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 languages, 2 or 3 separate languages
Yeah.
in Italy, just based off of the fact that Croatian and Serbian are different languages.
Yeah, I mean, also,
I'm sorry, Balkan bros, but your languages are more similar than Italian dialects.
fair point. But like, here's also the thing that you also have moments where like, where it's like, oh hey, can they come to a certain late village and they're like, hey, can we put up a camp in front of your town? You're like, sure, boom, like double the amount of people from outside are suddenly in that village, and you're like. And it doesn't get better that when it comes to monsters, and I shit you not, except for one time in the whole story when they meet a new monster, like, oh, it's that monster. They're never going like,
I am fine with the fade to black and then a camp, and then a bunch of people appear at the camp. I'm fine with it to an extent, but I would prefer.
no, it's more like
escort mission, as
it's
much as I hate them, where we escort a supply train to setting up the camp.
I mean, that's not my point. My point was just the fact that especially one village just has such a small population, and the outsiders are just starting to outnumber them. Like, and they're not just blinking with an eye. Like, oh wait, this is a bit weird. And again, then you have other stuff like. Again, the guild just knows about the monsters in the region for some reason. They just have the names, even if they're clearly old names. But again,
That's
the
another
only
issue
one.
I take from the game. They have half the monsters
Mm-hmm.
are like, oh, it's a mystery monster. We don't know what this is. And then the other half of the monsters, especially in the early game, is like, oh yeah, we know exactly what this is, even though we've never encountered this monster before.
Yeah, it's either like
Then they drop the comments of if they encountered it or not completely, and just show you the cutscene with the name.
Yeah, it's like you just sit there being like in the beginning that
This
was
was
like
a game about exploration and new frontiers. In the end,
They did great with showing us the monsters. They did great with that.
Yeah.
But they did a terrible job of narratively including it.
Because, like, in World-
story.
yeah, especially since they're so narratively focused.
Yeah, the thing is, in World, they clearly made like, okay, we don't know a name yet, but afterwards like, okay, this is the name we settled on. Like, you at least get the thing of you fought it, and then the guild is like, okay, we now settled on a fitting name for the thing.
Or they did it
categorizing
already
them.
because you're the Fifth Fleet.
Yeah, and otherwise, in Wilds, I'd expected that either the locals had a name for them, but this is exactly brought up once. Because, after you fight the Black Flame, then the old guy's like, oh yeah, the old text says this thing was called New Udra, and you're like, what?
Okay.
The actual natives allowing to tell us the names of their own monsters, and like even then you're like, oh hey, Kumach or something. It would be interesting if if our nerd Alma would be like, wait, I've read about that monster in the books. We thought it was extinct. It would be cool if that happened one or two times.
That's a really cool idea. I would also accept if our guild lady friend was like in story saying like, oh hey, I'm gonna go off and talk to the natives, learn about the creatures around here, and it actually like suggested that she's learning about these monsters so that she can record that information for the guild.
It just
that would be smart. That would be an easy way to just hand wave things.
You know,
just
that's
do your
the
little
thing.
Jedi mind trick on the player.
Yeah.
You just literally need a little bit more. Okay, there was some process. You know, you don't need to show the process. The mind can fill in blank, but you need to basically show people there was some form of process. I mean,
Again, I feel like this leans back on my idea of that there were competing writers who possibly did not like each other working on this project
Maybe.
and being kind of in butting heads in some cases, and in some cases not butting heads, but rather butting their heads on the wall because they can't talk to each other.
Yeah, it's like it just has some moments because like especially when in the later parts when things are happening and you know, by the way, things have gone weird for a while now. Like the people in, for example, Azus are like, oh yeah, the flame has been shitty as for years now. What's going on? And then you know Werner's like, you know, the thing you have there that might be a reason for that. And they're like, oh, interesting. It's like, okay, you know, that's one thing. You know, maybe never really think about nature around you, that it might not be nature.
I would understand if they wanted to make that narrative this is a
please
religion
finish?
thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the thing is just, this is like, if you have that set up, and you know, they're already learning, okay, the environment we're in, there's more going on, and then literally later on, they have cutscenes where like, it's like, oh shit, something is happening, but it's not supposed to do that, that's illegal, and you're like, what the fuck? Why is every native person like basically introduced as, oh, we found some way to live together with nature, and then like 10 seconds later, we never actually thought about the monsters. They're just there. We never got close to them or studied them or have any idea about them. They're now behaving a bit weird, and we're like little babies. Can you please kill them? And like, wow, that's just wow. That's bad.
The desert village, I can make an excuse for that they're nomadic and that
They're not nomadic.
They may not be like constantly nomadic, but their society may like move every now and then. And when I say every now and then, I mean a generation or separate.
That's not really nomadic, but like they apparently don't do it. They're actually
We
sedentary.
haven't heard of the moving villages yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, like I could see something like that they just kind of like a village gets wiped out and then they settle in a new spot.
Sure.
I could maybe see that happening and being a reason for why not much information is passed down besides that say like, oh, this thing protects us and that's all that we really care about. There can be some cultural, societal things going on there.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not one to step in the way and say that way of living is wrong.
But like Zeus, they're like they just don't know.
Oh yeah, no. In the oil fields place, it's just like there's so much about this world building wise that's like, how is this even working? And I could forgive the whole we're not going to investigate the forge thing if they made it like if they kept to making it like a purely religious type thing, and it's just like we're not going to look into this because this is the gods. This is it's forbidden to try and investigate it. Like if they're being like that, I can see that being the thing. But everything that they like, their willingness to allow an outsider, Werner, to work on it, and their willingness for the invasions of privacy that they supposedly wouldn't have allowed their own people to do, that they have allowed the hunters and foreigners to do, doesn't make sense for that narrative.
Yeah.
And
Democracy.
so
Yeah,
I feel like they kind of screw themselves over a little bit narrative-wise because, they need to make the plot device move.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Basically, the only reason the monkeys didn't came in yet is because the shoulders are too wide for the tunnel.
yeah, but then they just go over the top, and it's like,
Yeah, I know.
And also, can I say one thing? Can I spoil a little bit later? It's not clear, but like it's just like it's baffling a few things because you said if this was a religious thing, You can probably answer that question for yourself.
You need to wait for the answer first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I'll probably see stuff once I hear more from the keepers, but it's just like I
she
can
was,
already see.
She was
where
asking
someone's-
if she can spoil a bit.
A bit about the Azus. A bit about the Azus. Just it's some side stuff and not really that relevant. But yeah.
Is that the floating things?
No.
No, it's the Azus is the forge town.
Oh, okay. I'll probably get around to it on my own.
Okay.
I normally I don't care about spoilers, but
Yeah, it's just that there's
I
some.
don't want something that may push me off of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just there are some really stupid things coming later where you're like, yeah, this was definitely not thought through, or this is something they had from a different script and just shoved in because they needed to, which is just like.
Yeah, it's why I kind of breeze through the cutscenes. Like
Yeah.
I don't skip them. I don't skip them completely, but I read like half of the text and the subtitles, and I'm like, oh, I already know what's being said.
Yeah.
Move on. Move on. Move on.
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
like-
this is pretty much what I'm expecting, and then the writing is a little disappointing.
Yeah, that's true.
Although
I
I went in not caring about it, so.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
that's-
as Whoopi said, it gets in the way because like we want to hunt monsters, and like having some story is nice, but even if you want to hunt on your own, if you don't like,
Traversal moments. The traversal moments, I hate those.
they're so annoying.
This is why I was saying I would forgive an escort mission.
This is what they wanted to
they
show
could have
off.
had-
Remember?
Yeah, they could have had those traversal moments where they're giving us lore information be an escort mission. Give us some things to do. Give us some walking around, maybe some looking at stuff while the game talks to us and we're doing some things. And maybe we encounter a turf war and then walk away from it. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where our goal is not to hunt monsters, our goal is to make sure that the caravan makes it to the next camp safely. They can make that into a interactive, fun-ish mission while they are also spouting the narrative stuff of like, oh yeah, look at this site. And then also the boys whining, and so on. And like, yeah, I can forgive all of the weird narrative stuff. Just make it something interesting.
Yeah, but
That I'm
like,
doing, and not just like sitting on my bird, waiting for it to walk someplace.
yeah,
Yeah, the forced walking sequence.
Yeah,
It's a bit. And since they have.
it's off-putting because it changes the pace of the game.
That's the thing, also because they're putting it so prominent in front of you, you kind of have to use a higher standard. Because in the older games, it was mostly, yes, sometimes an NPC told you something, or you could read a bit extra quest descriptions to piece things together. So you did it on your own pace and when you wanted,
yeah,
and that was fine. There was no epic story necessarily, and if so, it wasn't that prominent. It was fine, small little story. Now they make this, oh, look at this journey of the boy you can't stand because he's a child. Like, I have to apply some standards at that point.
yeah. It's like
At the very least, they were realistic in making the boy irritating.
That's true. It is realistic,
but also
and
just like
he will behave predictably exactly as you think he will. It's like, from the first time we saw him, it was like, yeah, this is how his character will progress. And yep, those exact story beats will come with no connective tissue between them. It just happens.
well, yeah. It's just there's just so much where I'm like, oh god. But like, it's again, it still gets in the way of doing things. If you play solo, if you play co-op, it's even worse because like again, if you want to have some game that you want to play co-op, you want it to be the smoothest experience possible from start to finish. And if there are, hiccups along the way, those will be, met more and more and more. It felt more and more. Like, and generally I'm just like, how the fuck how the fuck did Borderlands have like almost perfect, basically perfect co-op, like over 10 years ago, and Wilds doesn't? Even if you want to have an online environment where you sometimes meet some people, why does Destiny have that and Wilds doesn't?
The way that Wilds co-op should be, in my opinion, is it should be limited size lobby.
Yeah.
And it should be an open lobby.
Yeah.
With players actually walking around on the entire map.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, you can accept, and I would accept weird, like, connection desync stuff, but if you run things, if
you can
I don't know
share.
I don't know the mechanics of it all, but if it's basically universally shared, and you just have multiple instances of a monster on a map, and say, if you really want to do things correct, if you really want to make things fair and not, like, allow for monster hoggers, you could make it so that you could, like, double down on the guild has not authorized you thing, where it's like, say you get a cooldown for hunting the same monster. So, like, if you hunt one monster, it would be like, oh hey, you can't kill this monster again until this little cooldown, until enough time for another person who wants to hunt that monster gets a chance to start.
Then they would need to change that you only hunt one monster in the end anyway for points.
Yeah.
Which would be nice if they changed
it. Would be nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there's a lot where I'm like,
but,
okay.
There's a little bit more in
but basically,
what I was trying to get at, but I don't know how to explain it right now.
Yeah, but also one thing that just makes me very worried is the fact that if the guy in charge of the series and now in charge of more at Capcom says, oh no, Monster Hunter is successful because of the story, and not everything else, because you definitely bought your Wilds for the story, right? You saw Wilds and were like, I want to play this for the story. It's just, I feel like they will force the same kind of shit into the B team's work.
Would they have to tell us that they used AI to prompt the story creation?
It wouldn't surprise me if they did, but like, I feel like this is actually just homegrown bullshit.
Yeah,
like that's the thing.
I still stand by my original concept, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, oh yeah, the lead writer was using AI to set up the prompts for the different parts of the story.
Honestly,
because it does kind of seem a little neurotic in the way that an AI would make it.
I mean, it would make sense that because it just heads back and forth instead of actually lingering on it. But it honestly, considering how much this is like in contrast to World, I feel like this was just a consciously bad decision. Just to be like, oh no, we want to go through them and back, and just be like, don't we just don't linger that much.
They wanted to show off their seamless world.
Yeah,
I still don't know what that achieves.
Full of seams.
No, you just go through that a narrow hallway, and you're in the next area, and then you will never use it again.
Oh, I walked through them after I was forced to walk through them. Like on my own, totally my choice. You know what happened? Before I got to the next area, my sacred just stopped because it wasn't loaded.
Yeah,
very seamless.
It's like
can't even do it on a PS5, the thing it should be optimized for.
Yeah, it's like it's
only seamless if you have a speed cap on your sacred. Also, for the things Zeb said earlier, you can share environment, but since your environment and which monsters can spawn, basically your environment level changes with the story. You can't really accurately share it.
So you're just blocked. I mean, ironically, another bullshit thing that happened is I wanted to help someone to get armor, and I was like, oh hey, I have an investigation. The investigation literally said to play with this investigation, you just have to be Hunter rank 30 or higher. And the game was like, no. They can't join.
What? They could just not lock the environment to story.
Yeah, they could have done that.
Just be like, you know what? You need to wait for this. You need to wait for this event. So maybe you should go hunt some other monsters and do some optional quests.
Oh, you mean?
But Zeb,
while you wait for the season to change.
But Zeb, that means you could encounter tempered monsters and they would do damage to you.
Oh no!
You could like
some of the
avoid
monsters can be
them.
threatening.
You could like
Yeah.
avoid them, or
It's
just
not like you have to fight every monster that you encounter.
throw a dung bomb.
You know, you're currently arguing as if they should design it like a good old RPG, you know, like Morrowind. But whoops, that like
I mean,
it
there's
just
a reason the game sold.
honestly,
Maybe it's not that reason, but
it's weird how much there's just so obvious things to critique about it, and like sadly I think the biggest fear I have now is, you know, when I hear, oh, it's successful because of the story, and I just think like, oh, so you're ignoring the fact that the loop and premise is like the main appeal because people don't fucking care about story buying one of those games. You know, general pressure by friends, the general pre-success of world, you know, it kind of went the same way as Dark Souls. A lot of people just waited to jump onto the next game at launch because they don't want to catch up on the series. They want to go into a title at the same time as everyone else is. That's always why these spikes happen with a new title in the series, and then a lot of people go back because there is just an emotional connection to actually starting a game with everyone else instead of, you know, catching up to it.
I would say, so with the thing about Capcom in general, I would say that honestly, with a very minor and most likely impossible to happen instance, I think I think after I finish Wilds, I might just kind of be done with Capcom. With the exception, because my exception is Mega Man. I'll keep playing Battle Network, but unless they make a Battle Network 7, which I highly doubt, and I have my wish list for that. Capcom as like a developer,
They make
They're
good
not
games.
making the games for you. They're like making basically some of the best games every year, like for nearly 10 years now, which is just like the fact they have like a GOTY contender every single year, so like for a long time now, that's impressive. Their output has been shockingly good.
In
general, it's just, I think the only weaker ones were Monster Hunter titles, and the fact that the guy is now saying, "Oh no, story is the reason." I'm like, you really haven't paid attention to what happened actually, or why people, or the fact that people are like yeah, some people are like, the story is great, but like the vast majority on Reddit and everywhere else is like, that story gets in the way. It's fine at best, but it gets in the way, and like you should not take a conclusion that it was the story.
yeah, I'll agree that most of Capcom's games just probably aren't for me.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I mean,
You kinda
just
want
don't
to.
really see. I would like for them to make the kind of games that I enjoy, but because like the ones that I have enjoyed, I do enjoy, but they just don't make them anymore, really. And the closest thing to what they've done is the Legacy edition of Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't see the direction going in a way that favors me. And
Yeah.
that's a pity, but
The
it's
games-
kind of like,
The games
I'm
where
not-
the games where they do that is kind of like Devil May Cry and Resident Evil.
Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, Onimusha now.
There they do
Yeah.
that, but with Mega Man they kind of have given up on that.
I feel like,
Seemingly,
I mean, they have made Mega Man 11, and it wouldn't surprise me if they might return to make some other Mega Man games. But even then, I would say probably either a new mainline title or Mega Man X, or even a Legends
Yeah.
title if they want to do a third-person one again.
if they're feeling really frisky, they might remaster Mega Man Star Force, although I doubt that'll happen.
Yeah, it's
kind of like died after 2 games.
I mean, from what I also know the Mega Man collection sold solidly, but you know, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
it's
No,
not
the
their main
collection-
series. Like from what I know, the Ace Attorney games sold better, and like, it's one of those. It's one of those. It's one of those series where I'm like, I think the biggest problem Mega Man Battle Network has the same thing with Ace Attorney. You kind of need just the creative brain behind that, or someone stand out, or else it would just not be the same. They probably know that.
except for Monster Hunter.
I mean, yeah, Monster Hunter, they're just like, no, let's just do it like that, and like they still have great creative people in there, but like,
Yeah, for the environment, for example.
And the monster designs and some ecology stuff, and then it's just... And then you have just the natives being like, why is this happening? This is illegal. And you're like,
Or like,
God damn it.
These monsters are at the level of Elder Dragons, and this monster is also at the level of an Elder Dragon, enhance them. And it's a fucking pushover.
Yeah.
So Battle Network Legacy Collection had sold 1.4 million units
That's solid.
in September, as of September 23, which I think is a month after when it launched. No, that's about half a year after it launched.
Okay.
Ace Attorney, as of 7 months ago, has supposedly sold a total of their collection edition has sold approximately 11 million units.
Yeah.
But that's as of 7 months ago, so I think the time period is longer.
Yeah, like here's Ace Attorney trilogy 4 million. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which was like stuff that didn't even come out in the West, like over 1 million. They are apparently very popular.
Yeah.
So
Comparatively.
I mean, Ace Attorney also just has more history, and Battle Network is a spin-off series of Mega Man.
it's the overall sales for Ace Attorney is nearly is over 11 million. So
Okay.
they probably
It'd probably be a bit more fair to compare the Ace Attorney collection to the regular Mega Man X collection.
Yeah, apparently the trilogy remaster has around 4 million sales, which is just it's very impressive for a visual novel collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's just
it's also become a bit viral recently because of.
I mean, that's
people-
true,
yeah.
but like it's the same thing, you know. Ace Attorney had always a very consistent fan base, a very vocal fan base, and what happened the moment the games got available on nearly every platform in a very accessible way, people jumped onto it. So like we probably will see more of we probably rather see a new Ace Attorney game than Mega Man, sadly, because you know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it here. Hey, Mega Man Battle Network fans, you're not vocal enough. You're not annoying enough. You know, if you're like, oh, but I want to be annoying. No. Here, think about it like this. See, there was always a Monster Hunter fan base. We had very solid, like we had sales numbers for handheld titles that console titles fucking dreamed of. We were outselling a lot of what was considered big games in the West. Like, it's like, people are like, oh, Dragon Age is such a great big series, but the only title that really outsold Monster Hunter ever was Inquisition. Also because, the Dragon Age fanbase also never shut up. But anyway, we never shut up. And then when World came out, a lot of people were like, I guess it's on the PlayStation now, so I guess I can try it this time. So
yeah, I know how it feels. That it's the same with the original Digimon World for me. Took 16 years until they made another one of those.
They did one before that, but it came out in Japan only.
Yes,
but the direct sequel actually that took
16 years in
2017 from 1999. That is
no, I'm checking EU there because I'm talking how long I needed to wait.
16 years then.
People in Japan was 1999 to 2016.
Yeah, and 16 years, but they still made a good one. Shockingly,
comparatively, Word is still better.
I mean, it is better, but like the fact this was a Vita game that was ported and on a low budget, this was still impressive that they did it.
At least the developers now know that there's a market for it and people actually want it, and only that.
And then they shoved all their money into okay, you know what? It is so fucking funny because Bandai Namco literally sat down and were like, oh yeah, you know what? We realized one thing. The people that buy, Digimon Stories games, they're not buying the Digimon World games, but the Digimon World game people don't buy the Digimon story games. There's like very little overlap between those two. So they're like, maybe we should make, we should make games for the RPG fans and the World fans. And then they literally just shoveled money into the dark hole that was Digimon Survive, and then no one liked it.
Okay, so I'm looking at the numbers for each individual Battle Network game. Mm-hmm. So the first one, in Japan, sold over 200,000 units. Mm-hmm. This was back in... This is probably about 20, 30 years ago. In the US, the first one sold 1,355 units, according to stuff. And this is back in 2001. There's a lot of reasons why an unknown Japanese game wouldn't make much in the US. But in the same year, in Japan, Battle Network 2 released, doubled their numbers. 447 rounding up. Thousand units in Japan.
Yeah, it's
in the US, 7,242. That's about 7 times more in the US. And 2 was not that good of a game. Battle Network 3 in Japan, another 200,000 unit increase for 2002, and in 2003 in the US for the US release, it went from 2002 Battle Network 2 selling 7,000 units to Battle Network 3 the next year selling 36,000 units in the US. And then you had an interim one of network transmission, which not many people bought, but it's like you still didn't lose. You lost 6,000 in the US, and barely anyone in Japan bought it. It was only like 80,000. But Battle Network 4 worldwide GBA, 1,350,000. There's no separate values for Japan and the US because it was a universal worldwide release. And then Battle Network 5 for both different versions. One version got, the one with the classic character that everyone was aware of, got 400,000. The one with the brand new character that no one really knew who he was in 5 got almost 200,000 sales. And then the DS version, which was a combination, got 100,000 sales. And this is back in 2005. And then the Battle Network 6, which released in 2005 as well in Japan. And
but like, do we really need to go over them? Do we really need to go over that? It's just, it's like, this sales were just like, it's a lower sales series overall. That's just more
it's a lower sales series, but it had consistent growth.
Oh yeah,
That's what annoys me,
like,
is that they can the series.
I mean, like, even if not, they have consistent sales, so there is a market for it.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing.
People want it.
Maybe they will do it. I feel like they probably will look if they might get a certain person that the main creative director behind it again.
Yeah.
That could be the case, but they said, oh no, we really want to revive our old IPs and get them into the public eye, and like a new Ace Attorney is like something I would expect. Like, again, Onimusha is back. The last Onimusha remaster didn't sell. Now they're like, fuck you will like Onimusha. It's like that is just, if I would never say no, but like wrapping up Monster Hunter, I'm just worried that they now think like, oh no, we have to actually have everyone play a story now in the next game as well, because else they won't like it. And like, no, because I can almost guarantee you, if they do that, the next game will get flack for that, because it's not novel anymore for people.
If this game doesn't get it a few months later,
I mean, it already
because
gets flack right now.
Like, what I'm feeling is, like the content creators, the big ones, they need to be positive because otherwise they won't get invited to Capcom events
that's
anymore.
one thing.
That's like the first thing you always have to keep in mind. They're required to be positive. Also
Yeah.
because they have to make content for it. So if they're not telling themselves all the time how
Good this actually
revolutionary
is.
or nice the game is,
I mean, they might switch as well the moment because, like, from what I saw online, it is tipping slowly because, yeah, it's the thing that I said before it came out. Is what I called, like, there might be a honeymoon phase, and then slowly, if they do the same thing as with World, and right now it's worse than World actually in terms of end game stuff, it might genuinely just be like. It might generally just be like that people actually just get frustrated because, yeah, building weapons is just... Like, again, you could say, oh, but World didn't have weapon building. Yeah, but, like, that made it a bit nicer because, when the gambling came in with Kulv Tarov, it was just an update later on. Before that, no, there wasn't... Let me put it like this. Wilds just has more friction points in the negative sense, as in, the constant rebuilding and rerolling of the Artian weapons, that can piss people off. There not being an end boss, that can piss people off. The fact that the first update is Mizutsune, that can piss people off, because people forget how things were put into perspective for World, for example, because when you played World, the game had an invader. There was one monster that could show up in every single region and fuck up your play. Arcworld can show up in every region in Wilds, but it doesn't invade you, it doesn't seek you. In Worlds, it was the B-17 bomber, aka Basiljuice, came in, fucked you up, and then they were like, hey, you know what the next monster is? Devil Joe. And everyone was like, oh fuck. And another one. That was just different, There was like, people were like, generally like, Also, World was a bit harder, so, people were like, oh god, Devil Joe, no.
That'd be annoying.
That's bad. Yeah. So, like, there's just, it just... I feel like they're just in for a lot rougher of an awakening, because... I mean, the irony is even the fact that they now have the Elder Melder in, as in, like, you can actually, if you reach Hunter rank 100, you can actually just get all the level 2 and level 1 decorations you want. That's like, yeah, that is just some time investment, and then basically you skipped everything of the grind. That's...
I mean,
yeah.
Basiljuice was kind of like the best thing for even the idea of invaders since they did it in Tri and stuff.
They had like...
Because Zep didn't play that far, I think, in World.
I did not go very much of it.
Yeah.
As far as I...
The game turned me off of it pretty fast. I don't remember exactly what the point was at which I realized that, oh, this game is just not fun. I think it was probably the way... I think a lot of it had to do with the way that they introduced monsters.
Could be, but like, I mean...
To me, so this is one of the points where I will praise... One of the few points where I'll praise the writing for Wilds, is that the way that they throw a monster at you and you're technically unprepared for fighting that monster, that I like.
Where are you ever unprepared?
It's more like, you walk up to it and then it's like...
I mean, like,
fight it.
you encounter the monster without having meant to meet that monster, narrative-wise. I mean,
it also happens in the World.
You're not always prepared.
It also happens in World.
In World, the way they went about it, I think
it's kind of the same. I played those games. It's kind of the same. It's just I think the difference is just that in Wilds you actually just walk up to it on your sacred, and then in the game's like, you have to fight it now, even though and like just popping that bubble. If you press left on the D-pad while you're on your sacred, you open up the supply pouch, and there's just everything you need to be prepared for in it. Whoops.
Oh yeah, no, I know about that. I'm saying like narrative wise, not
Narrative wise,
gameplay.
it's the same. They're doing it the same way. It's the same. You also just meet it. There's also like, whoop, there's a new monster. You have to fight it now. They do the same shit. They do the same thing. It's probably just because, you know, again, it that might just work a little bit better in Wilds because you actually, you know, ironically, you go through the world and they try to be a little more like, oh, you know, you're not just loading into the mission from the base camp. I think that's definitely
that is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
You're going through the world and you're like the story is essentially throwing you into the battle, and there's not like
I mean, you can just fast travel.
I guess
right?
if they mechanics, yeah, you can fast travel, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like the very first narrative encounter where you're moving based off of the story, and then the monster is there. I'm not talking about like the missions that you select and then fast travel.
I'm just saying that like even if you encounter it story-wise, you can't just fast travel back to camp and restop.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
That's not the point.
The point was more like in World it's like you still had to go to Handler, open the book, select the next mission, and that loads you in. Then you had to walk to a specific place to trigger a cutscene, and then you fought the monster. But here it's more like they're just like, oh, we need to go there, and then you run into a monster.
To use like game development terms, there's very few points of friction towards introducing you to a new monster.
You know, Zep, I just got it conveyed to her. You just confused it now.
I'm sorry. When I say points of friction, I mean like the loading screens.
Yeah, but the loading screens are way better.
Hey. This is just like about the general introduction to monsters and like... No.
I'm not talking about like the cut screens that introduce you to the monsters.
That's the same.
No, loading
physically
into...
getting you to... I'm talking about physically getting you to the
Stop.
monster.
You both are definitely talking past each other. You're not getting his point. And like, no.
Okay.
I know that for a general structure, loading into an area and having loading screens is generally better.
I'm just saying, in Wilds you load into it as well.
I think if you're playing solo, not really.
The monster loads in. It's the same, just the other way around.
Okay, you know what?
Maybe I'm just weird. Okay?
Yes. I don't think.
I think we've concluded. I think we've come to that conclusion many times.
Yeah. Also, we're nearing 5 a.m. and I kind of like.
It's interesting
Because you two are currently getting. Yes, it's interesting, and we can still talk about it after we finish the stream because you two just got really hung up on.
Oh, we're just like two different flavors of weird, and sometimes it meshes well, and sometimes it's like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, yes, and I'm in the middle. I'm like, I want to peace out sometimes. So you can just do this on your own, but I can't because we're streaming still. And this is what I want to say. Just to wrap it up, I think Wilds is like it's a solid game still, but like I'm very concerned about what might happen with the next title. Simply because they were like, oh yeah, the story is the key, and like, no, it isn't. Just please realize it isn't. That's the worst idea. But yeah, hope you all had fun with a bit of Helldiving and all that, and see you all on Sunday for some more Castlevania. Hopefully I can actually get past the fucking death this time. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Hey.